Hey Neil, where should we go?
Somewhere epic.
So we're gonna go to Canada?
Shout out to Canada for being epic, but we're not heading to Canada. We're catching the ferry from Bodø, Norway across to the Lofoten Islands. And already, as we leave town on the ferry, there's a sense that there's gonna be some fantastic photo opportunities. I mean, even from the ferry there's a photo.
We are here in the Lofoten Islands and we're off. It snowed about 5 centimeters in the past 24 hours and it looks absolutely beautiful, but the weather is not supposed to be amazing. So it is amazing right now, so we're gonna take advantage of it. Middle of the day photography here on day 1 in the Lofoten Islands. So I'm leading a photography workshop here, a pretty quick one, and honestly the weather was forecasted to be horrible. So I planned on spending the day just wandering around, almost like location scouting, exploring, because I didn't think that there'd be light. And then all day today, the light has just been unreal, absolutely beautiful. And I haven't really taken that many photos because I've been leading the trip. And anything I have been taking, I've just been taking handheld. I haven't really set anything up, but these conditions are just wild here. I've never been here where there was this much snow and the light was this good. So the group's a pretty lucky group so far, and we'll see if this weather holds.
Doing photography in the middle of the day is easy. Taking great photos in the middle of the day is tricky. Thankfully, the low light of early spring here in Lofoten is helping. In conditions like this, I like to use the soft light behind me to light subjects fairly evenly and avoid shadows, like this image from Newsfjord.
So we just had a big snowstorm or snow shower come through. It was literally a whiteout a second ago here, and we're at Stegsteden Beach. And it's just starting to pass, still snowing a little bit, but the sun's out now and it's starting to catch this peak. I really hope I can find a composition while this is still lit up like this. It's their kind of fleeting moments. So let's get the camera. I think I'm gonna run out to the beach there and hope to find something cool.
The sunset light piercing through the mid-level cloud is a photography goldmine. So instead of spending time wandering around looking for a new composition, I head back to a subject I know and have never captured with great conditions.
Okay, I think I found a frame, and this is actually something I found years ago, but is working better now than it did in the past. Basically, there's a stream that runs off of these mountains through here onto the beach. And when the tides are perfect, like they are right now, you get this stream running straight into the beach and reflections right now as the tide and the waves retreat back, and you get the glowing peak on your reflections. And it's a pretty busy image. There's a lot going on, and a lot of the things that are going on aren't right. They don't make sense. This leading line leads away from the mountain. The reflection's off to the corner. But in a weird way, it just keeps your eye on the image for so long because there's so much going on. Your eye dives away from the subject and it comes back to it. Or it's drawn right into the reflection and then it kind of weaves around other ways. So a composition doesn't necessarily have to follow any rules. It just needs to keep the viewer's eye on it a long time. And though I think this basically breaks all the rules, I think your eye kind of sticks to it for a while, and that's awesome. So very stoked with this, and I think I'm actually just gonna sit on this composition the entire time, despite there being awesome light everywhere, because I kind of want to perfect this.
The busyness of this photo makes it work, but I do wish I had a landscape crop of it so you could truly appreciate it properly on your screens. I love this image, and now I can forever move on from this composition.
That turned out to be kind of awesome, actually. I think the photo works. It's one of those photos that on the little screen it looks really powerful. There's just so much going on and the lines lead perfectly, and I didn't touch anything. That's literally where I set up my camera, and it just looks perfect. Again, I might take it onto the computer and just see everything wrong with it, so I'm hoping that's not the case. But first day in Lofoten has been awesome. It wasn't supposed to be awesome. We were supposed to get absolutely hammered by a storm. So we're not supposed to see northern lights tonight. Guess let's find out if we do. Whew. So we did not see northern lights last night. It clouded over before they came out, but we did see Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien was staying here. So we saw him this morning. The weather today is supposed to be really good. Not a lot of northern lights activity tonight, but the weather's supposed to be nice. So we're gonna cruise down south here towards the Rhina area. Let's go.
Down in Rhina, we were back at Midday photography for a bit. It's not my time of day of choice for photography, but hey, I've got coffee.
So the conditions are kind of off and on now, but they're still good enough to be out taking pictures in the middle of the day. And one of the ways I kind of compensate for the light being average is long exposures. So you'll often find me middle of the day out at places like this with a 10-stop ND, just trying to create any sort of drama in a photo, trying to make it look artistic. Anything else can kind of look like a snapshot, especially big open landscapes like this. So right now, I have my Nisi 15mm lens on. I'm at f11 infinity focused, and the photo is 20 seconds, ISO 100. And yeah, the scene looks beautiful, but just the longer exposure adds some drama to the sky and to the water. It stills it out, and it just makes it more like a photograph than a snapshot. And yeah, apparently the weather's supposed to clear up, and the plan is to head that way.
The great photography composers of the world are experts at making normal things look beautiful. I'm not a great photo composer. My strength is using technique to make normal things look different. It's almost an art versus trade thing.
Middle of the day, I'm also a big fan of long lens shots. It's again another way of making the world look different than your eye sees it, so it feels like less of a snapshot. So I've got my 70-200, and I'm kind of just reaching out into the landscape to try to pick things out, like this red cabin on the water with the peaks in the background, or there's this one peak way off in the distance that's now catching really nice light now that we stopped photographing it. Sorry, Neil. We're just reaching out into the landscape and picking these things out. And these things don't need to happen with epic light or at sunset or at sunrise. Middle of the day work. So if you're struggling to get something unique, even in a place that seems like you should go wide, use a long lens. We're at Hamnøy Bridge, and I have to say there's no replication for good light. There's just nothing that you can do that will be better than great light. And shooting in the daytime is fun. You should not avoid it. There are great photos to be had in the middle of the day, but honestly, light like this that I think is about to happen is just something special and something unique. And yeah, so I'm excited. It looks like things are going to kick off.
Great light is often a crutch for average photographers. I know it was for me for years. It masks bad composition skills. However, I think photographing midday is so important to build those composition skills. So when the good light shows up, you have the skills to put it all together.
Yesterday's, wow, lost my voice there for a second. Yesterday seemed like we were gonna get epic light. And we did get good light, really good light at sunset, but not epic light. But yeah, still an awesome day, still an awesome 2 days here. And I guess I didn't really maybe make the point I was trying to make at the start of the video, but the point I was trying to make is there's always a photo. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of the day, the middle of the night, there's always a photo to be made. So go out and explore all the time. That's kind of the whole thing of photography, is just explore, take pictures, and have fun. And had fun on the first episode of Lofoten Islands. We'll be back again really soon. See you there. Peace. Does not work with mittens. Peace.